Elimination Chamber.
It's a great show.
It was.
It was a very great show.
You know what? It was one of the better, more recent, from top to bottom WWE pay-per-views that I can remember.
I can agree with that.
So,
I can agree with that.
Started off really well.
Women's Elimination Chamber was great.
Just coming out and going right after Naomi. Even they all thought she's going after Liv and went right for Naomi, and Bianca selling it in the little cage was great. And just
I'm gonna say this because I know Jazz ain't gonna mind. Oh my God, Jade is so fine.
Yeah, she is.
Like, I was just like, wow. Like, but they sold the hell out of that.
They did.
Bianca crying in the
yeah.
And you know what? It was funny because when it hit, Dose is like, she's going after Liv because, you know, Dose hates Liv.
Yeah.
So he's like, she's going after Liv. I was like, she's going after Naomi. And he's like, no, it's going to be Liv. I was like, it's going to be Naomi. And Jazz sitting there like, why do you think it's Naomi? I was like, it just makes sense.
Right.
And then when she came down and looked Liv did in her face, it turned. I was like, yes, I knew it. I was like, so that was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had zero issue with it. I enjoyed the whole thing. That match, I enjoyed Bailey. You know, I love Liv with the trolling in the whole match. Like, I enjoyed all of that.
Roxanne Perez is a prodigy.
Yes. She is very good.
Very good. And she's what, 22?
That's
Nice to see Alexa in the match too.
Yeah.
She, you know,
I thought Bliss was going to win it.
It would have been, I think it would have been made sense for her to win it though, just because for her making the comeback last month and all that stuff. But obviously they had, you know, different plans.
Right.
You know.
So I thought as soon as Bianca won, I was like, yes, we're getting Bianca versus Rhea.
Yeah.
I was like, at Mania, I was like, this is going to be so dope. And I was like, and then I'm assuming, I thought that Bianca was going to turn out to be the person behind the hit.
Right.
And it would lead to Bianca versus Jade at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
They swerved us on that because then Rhea lost the title and Naomi admits that it was her.
Right.
And, you know, Jade came down and looked right at Bianca and Bianca was just like, go ahead.
Yeah.
And she beat up Naomi on SmackDown again.
Name's Bennett and I ain't in it. So,
yep.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. But I still think she's going to get involved or something.
Bianca?
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think so. But I just love Naomi. I did it for you, Bianca. I was like,
I did it for The Rock.
I was like, as soon as that happened, I was like, yes. Yes. But yeah, I enjoyed the women's. Oh my God, Kevin Owens and
Sami
Zayn beat the hell out of each other.
They always do.
They always do.
Yeah,
they always do.
I mean, jeez.
Going back to Ring of Honor, they always did. They always beat the crap out of each other.
Man, that was a great match. Great match. What else was there? Was it a tag team match?
No. Why's my mind?
There was another match we're missing here. Because it was 4 total.
Yeah. There was another match.
Oh crap! What is it?
I don't know.
It was the tag match. It was Trish and Tiffy.
Yeah, Trish and Tiffy versus
Nia Jax and who was the other one? Candice LeRae.
Yeah. First of all, Candice LeRae is the most boring person on the WWE roster. And I don't get it. Like, her husband is so great, but she is so boring. Like, I'm just
people love her.
I don't see how. She's just so boring. There is nothing about her that is interesting. And she's a decent wrestler, but she's just personality wise, it's just like, ugh.
There's just some people that just don't do it for you. Like, I know I always bash him because I don't like Kyle O'Reilly. But I know he's a great wrestler.
That's crazy.
But there's just something about him
that is just absurd that you don't like Kyle O'Reilly.
There's just something about him that I just don't like. I like him as an actual wrestler, but there's just I don't know. There's something about it I just don't like.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's great. Like,
so Elimination Chamber made me think it, but SmackDown this week actually confirmed it for me. Tiffy does not need to be a face. No. She needs to be a heel.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's what they wanted it to be, but Charlotte is not a face.
Yeah, I get that, but Tiffy is like a little too. she's like bland as a face, but she's great as a heel.
Like
Yeah.
Britt, like kind of like Britt Baker.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay.
Yes.
So you said Britt was a terrible face.
She was a terrible face.
Fantastic as a heel.
Yeah, and that's kind of where Tiffy is. But
All right.
Charlotte coming in and attacking her on SmackDown and locking her in the figure eight, it got her some heat. It got her some heat. So, right.
Also, can we please give Nia Jax her flowers? Because at one point in time, people were saying she was like the worst wrestler in the world. Nia Jax is great. She does great character work.
She's a great heel.
She's a great heel. She's not afraid to make fun of herself.
And she's very pretty.
She is.
Just throwing that in.
Her face card doesn't decline. Well,
yeah, she is.
She's very pretty. She was like a Penn Hills mom. She was like someone that's from Penn Hills that has like 3 kids. They're on the football team that Malik coached. She does.
Jesus Christ.
She does. She was like,
Samoans out here in Penn Hill.
looks like she lives on Mount Carmel Road.
Me coaching offensive line, I wish we did.
Yeah, right.
Because you know damn well if we had Samoans out here, they'd be probably big as fuck. And I would have had some linemen.
But she seems like she's gotten a lot better. I know she dropped the weight. She dropped some weight and stuff, and you know she's a lot safer now in the ring. And
yeah,
I know a couple years back she was hurting a lot of people and shit.
But speaking of, she gave Becky arguably her greatest moment.
Yes,
because when she accidentally hit her in the nose and she was bleeding, and that's when Becky became the man. Like that's one of the best moments in women's wrestling.
Yes,
so it was a good payoff.
Yeah. I mean, not that you want to do it. To do that, but
right.
Sometimes you make chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Yeah,
there you go.
So I mean, I respect her growth.
Yeah,
like what she's becoming.
Nia Jax is great.
Yeah,
they seem to they figured out that she can be the person that they can rely on. Because usually when someone's like, oh, someone got hurt or something happened or we need a steadying hand, they go to Nia.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she deserves her respect for that because she is great.
Mm-hmm. I feel she carried Candace in
my whole. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about making fun of herself. Like, my whole. Like, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And she's great.
Yeah. Trish still looks great.
Yes, she does.
Yes, she does.
Yeah. So
take your shirt off, Trish.
It is nice to see, like, you know, our legends still be able to do it. And I guess she said she wanted her kids to see her.
And she's just having
wrestle.
Fun.
Yeah.
She's just out there just having fun.
I love it.
Living her best life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
And last was the men's chamber match.
Before we get started.
We got so much to talk about in that. There's so much to break down.
Logan Paul has grown on me.
He's so good.
He's a good professional wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
He's like, that is his area. Like, don't get me. He is a good professional wrestler.
I like him as a wrestler.
What pisses me off is that he keeps stealing Hangman Page's moves.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I said that on somebody's status, and I was like, he's just doing everything Hangman, but he is good. I'm not taking anything from him.
Yeah.
Literally move
Keep him off
move.
the mic for right now.
Yeah.
Keep him off the mic.
Yeah, he keeps trying to do the buckshot.
He does the buckshot lariat. He does the
Deadeye?
No, he's never done the Deadeye, but like pretty much you watch any Hangman match.
Mm-hmm.
The it's not a fireman's carry. What's the throw that like Scott Hall used to do it a lot.
The fall away slam.
Not the fall away slam. Yeah, the fall away slam.
The fall away slam. Yeah.
There's a way that Hangman does it that he took like. It's like I see it on Twitter all the time. They just literally show it side by side. He's doing like Hangman does a move, and literally like a week or two later, you'll see Logan Paul do it. Like, stop taking Hangman Page's moves.
I'm just saying, if you're going to steal off somebody,
do it right.
I mean,
that's
not a bad choice.
That's not a bad. Yeah, that's a
Hangman Page is very good. So it's not a bad choice to steal off of. But my goodness,
I love him.
I think he's great. It's just. His mic work still needs work.
When
he tried to cut that promo on everyone, I think it was on Monday night before the chamber, CM Punk just embarrassed him.
Well, I mean,
and it's like
it's CM Punk.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is he was trying to cut a promo on every single person, and it was just like, stop.
Still need some more.
Yeah, he's still, but still a great heel.
Mm-hmm.
Canada booing the national anthem. again was so my old captain used to always say, not always, but the last couple years, he would be like, America's become a joke and we need to vote Donald Trump back in there so that everyone will take us seriously. Now they're booing our national anthem. I don't think they're taking us seriously.
Yeah.
And they booed through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they did the same at the hockey game.
Yes.
So
at the Four Nations.
But so for Logan Paul to bring out the American flag, I'm like, yes.
Great troll moment.
But he's from Cleveland, so I also can't. Even though he wears black and yellow, I can't root for him.
Yeah, well, he's Ohio, yeah. But I get you, yeah,
but Seth Rollins versus CM Punk.
I'm off
the hate boner that Seth Rollins has for CM Punk is insane.
I thought CM Punk was going to win for a second there. And when he curb stomped him outside the thing, I was like, oh, they have problems. I don't know. Did either y'all watch Monday Night Raw?
I saw some of it. I didn't watch it all.
Yeah, they just kept fighting. There was a whole fight to start the show. They fought all through the crowd and everything. They came back from commercial. They did a match, and then they was fighting backstage again. And I was like, this is great. I was like, they should do this for the rest of the show. Just keep randomly fighting backstage.
So since I just started watching, kind of start slowly getting back to WWE again, I never really heard Seth Rollins' theme that much. That shit makes me pump.
To burn it down?
Yeah, just... I just want to sing. I be singing along with it when it comes.
Oh yeah, everyone goes along with.
Yeah, it's just I'm like, yeah, I like this.
I think me and my boys, our first thing, especially Dose, he's like, "What is Seth Rollins wearing?"
Yeah, because he wears the most.
We
all
want to see what he's wearing when he comes out because he has something absolutely ridiculous on.
Yeah.
The men's match I thought was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damien Undertaker.
Bisexual Undertaker. I really like Damian Priest. I'm assuming we're gonna get him and McIntyre because they've been fighting the last couple days.
Yeah, they've been going at it. So them two. That's gonna be a good match.
That is.
That's gonna be a good match between them two.
I think CM Punk versus Seth, and I think Roman Reigns is gonna find his way in there. I can't imagine they're having WrestleMania without Roman Reigns.
Yeah, where's he been at actually?
So they're saying that when Seth double curb stomped him at Royal Rumble that he was hurt, and the reason, the non-kayfabe reason I heard is that they didn't want Roman to take a pin at the Elimination Chamber.
Okay,
they knew he wasn't going to win, so they didn't want him to take a pin, so they did the he's hurt.
Okay,
but I can't imagine Roman not being at Mania.
I can't imagine it.
And
either,
if he does, he's gonna want to kill Seth Rollins. So
yeah, that definitely could happen.
So CM Punk and Rollins has a cage match on Monday.
Yeah,
I would assume Roman maybe does something.
Right, he shows up and gets involved, so we don't get a winner.
Right,
and then at WrestleMania, they all go at it,
which 100% has a chance to steal the show.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
so
because this is CM Punk's first WrestleMania. Since 29,
somewhere around there.
The one where he fought Undertaker.
I thought he was at WrestleMania last year.
No, I thought he tore his tricep.
I thought that was the year before. That was last year.
I'm pretty sure that was last
year. I know
he
left AEW. Okay. I know the whole AEW thing blew up in 2023.
Okay, then never mind. Then
yeah, but I remember his last WrestleMania match was I think it was with the Undertaker where he carried that match.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure after that's when the whole thing went down, and no, I think that was his last WrestleMania match. I think his last event was the Royal Rumble because it was here in Pittsburgh in 2024. That was the one with Batista won, and everybody was pissed because we wanted Roman to win.
Yeah, and then it was that next show. He just walked off.
Yeah,
it was that Monday where he just came out and just left.
Yeah,
okay,
yep.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with that. But CM Punk, Reigns, and Rollins.
Yeah,
I think will be a great match.
Yeah.
I think it's going to seem like they both hate Rollins, so Rollins is going to get killed. But I think there'll be a moment of Shield team up again
I can see it
after
happening.
CM Punk, you know.
Yeah,
So,
because the other one's bleeding over in AEW every freaking match he does.
yeah. So, and then of course John Cena won.
I am all for it. I am for the whole
So,
everything.
Since we're talking about it, we're going to talk about the thing everybody wants to talk about: John Cena going heel. After John Cena won, I said to Jasmine, "Oh, John Cena won." I said they need a heel for this match. I said Cody's going to accept The Rock's offer. At no point in my mind did I think John Cena's going to turn heel. At no point. I knew someone was going to turn heel.
Right.
So I said, as soon as Cody came out, I was like, okay, cool. Then as soon as The Rock's music hit, I was like, Cody's going to accept his thing because someone has to be heel for this match. No way did I see John Cena turning heel. I was just sitting there with my just jaw on the floor like, oh my gosh.
And the fact that face is like the newest meme right now.
Dude, there was kids, like I've seen like a compilation of kids crying.
Oh yeah.
There was kids throwing out their John Cena toys, and I was like, but to me, that shows how much faith they have in Cody.
Yeah.
Right.
That is him passing the torch to Cody, like, this is your company. Like, not necessarily your company, but you're the face now.
Correct.
Yeah. You're what the kids need. But I was like, that is crazy.
It's crazy.
I did not, and it's funny because, like I said, at no point in my mind did I think, oh, Cena's going to be behind this. I'm like, no. I'm like, Cody's going to turn heel. We need a heel in the match. It's going to be Cody.
You know, Cena didn't. He said something was going to happen because he was on Club Shay Shay about 6 months ago. And he was on there as a guest, and Shannon was asking him about like the WrestleMania stuff, and he said, "I can't say much, but something's coming." So he kind of hinted it, but but again, he hasn't been heel since what 2003, 2004, and the time when he should have went heel was after WrestleMania 29, but Vince didn't want to pull it, and so again, like you said, like I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? You're like he hasn't turned heel in 2 decades. Like this isn't going to happen. And then when he made that face. It was just like
this was the most shocking heel turn that I can remember to me.
Yeah,
like I was sitting there and I was like,
it's shocking
when they hugged, and I was sitting there, I was like, no way, because as soon as they hugged and he was looking at The Rock, I was like,
the face.
No
he
way.
Made, yeah.
I was like, no way. I was like, it's not. And then I was like, is Cena going to turn on him? And then as it slowly crept in, and then Cena did it, and I was like, cannot believe that.
And
happened.
Michael Cole made it even better.
Yes.
Michael Cole made it even better.
Which is like I said, like Michael Cole. When I was like watching wrestling faithfully, not missing a show, I hated Michael Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Like now that I don't watch as faithfully, I'm like, Michael Cole is so great.
Michael Cole's fantastic,
and I like have to give him his flowers. I'm like, Michael Cole. Even like SmackDown to me, without Michael Cole, I'm like, it's kind of boring, the announcing.
Yeah.
I'm like,
so now since it's freshly new, is John Cena's heel turn the best heel turn of all time now? Or do you have it in like the top 3?
Hey, it might be the best because it literally had kids crying on TikTok. Like there's kids crying.
Yeah.
I as a 35-year-old man, I was sitting there like, did this really happen? Like my jaw was just on the floor. I'm like, did this really just happen? Like,
now, if you said it is, I'm not going to argue with it. You know who I still think had the best heel turn. But if you think that, of course. But if you think that this is a better heel turn than Hogan, I'm not going to like disagree
100%.
with you.
It's definitely better than Hogan.
Definitely better.
I still think Hogan's is the best. But
definitely better
again,
than Hogan. Only one that would compare would be Shawn Michaels.
See, that was my number 2, but I might have to put that to 3 and put Cena at 2.
See,
because
Cena might be at 1.
There was no social media back then.
For
can you
me,
imagine social media like that? If Hogan would have went heel during the social media time?
Yeah, but Hogan, John Cena was Mr. Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, I agree.
He was every single kid loved John Cena.
He literally has the record for the most wishes fulfilled.
By the time Hogan turned heel, it was like
most people were kind of done with him.
Yeah, we were teenagers. Yeah,
right.
Teenagers,
and the general audience was kind of done with him.
Right.
Fair.
This is Cena, and then this is his final run.
Yeah, and that's what makes it even worse. Is you're thinking he's gonna want to go out on a high horse, have good time. This is top.
Yeah, and you figure little kids to this day, size 5, still love Cena. AJ Styles is his favorite, but he still loves John Cena. Like every little kid, and Cena hasn't even been as big in the WWE or as frequent in the last couple years as he obviously was before. But kids still love Cena. They still, I'm sure he's still one of the top selling action figures.
Yeah,
he's still, the biggest requester for Make-A-Wish. Kids still love him. And for this to happen in his final run is unprecedented. It's something I didn't think we'd see.
I didn't think.
I didn't
expect that at all.
And the moment it happened, I said to Jazz, I was like, we're going to have to do another top 10 wrestlers list. I was like, because if he's a full-on heel for this run, I have to move some people around and put Cena in.
But you had him as an honorable mention, right?
Yeah, I had him right outside my top 10, but I'm like, now he might be.
He was in mine.
Yeah, he was in yours. Yeah.
But remember, I was like, the only reason Cena's not in my top 10 is because we haven't had a real heel run.
Right.
And then he does this, and I'm like, well, I might have to redo that.
Well, you didn't have Kurt Angle in yours, so.
I fixed that.
But
I fixed that.
Now, Seth Rollins' heel turn, where would you put that at? On the Shield one. Because I had a feeling he was going to turn.
I did too.
That one became a little bit more apparent when both Dean and Roman were standing forward.
Yeah.
Seth was fading back behind them. You knew eventually that would have had to happen.
Right.
So it was surprising, but I don't know. I don't think there's anything like this Cena turn.
Yeah, because they weren't around as long. I think they were only a year or two in.
About 2 years in, yeah.
So it's not going to hold as much weight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree. Is there any other great heel turns that you?
Oh, I'm pretty sure there is. I just can't think of off the top of my head.
I told you. I don't know if you consider it a heel turn, but Mark Henry's retirement speech.
That was a great heel turn.
One of my favorite, but he was already a heel.
He was already
I don't know if it's considered a heel turn.
I don't know if that's considered he just went super heel.
That was
he doubled down.
That's another one of the times where my jaw was on the floor, and I'm like, wrestling got me.
Right.
Because I was sitting there, I'm like almost tears in my eyes, like, oh my God, like, like I didn't even care this much about Mark Henry, but this speech is so beautiful. Baby, I'm coming home. And then he power slams
Cena.
World's Strongest Slam Cena. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, he got me. So
now, I know you were a little young for this, but I know you've seen it eventually. But when you see the HBK heel turn, like, were you shocked when he did that? If you remember it?
I don't remember how I felt about it back then. I honestly just don't remember how I felt.
I mean, Marty Jannetty tried to get away from him and ran through the glass.
On the barbershop.
That is one of my favorite calls of all time. He tried to get away.
Another good heel turn was Roddy Piper with the coconut.
Yes.
Was that a heel turn or was he just a bad guy? I can't remember. Like, that was kind of before I really got into wrestling heavy, so I don't know if that was just like a heel turn or if he was just being a heel. Like,
I thought it was a heel. I don't remember the year, but I know he was the heel when he main evented WrestleMania 1. I know he was the heel in that match because it was him and Paul Orndorff, I believe, versus I think it was Hogan and Mr. T.
Yeah,
if I recall. But I'm pretty sure Paul Orndorff and Piper were the heels in that match.
Okay,
but
probably. I'm just saying
I don't with the coconut though.
Yeah, I don't know if the coconut thing was a heel turn or was just him being a heel.
I like that segment though.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
good segment. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It was a great segment. I just don't know if that was. I don't think that was a heel turn. I think he was just being a heel.
Neither of you watched SmackDown, did you?
No.
Travis Scott gave Cody a really bad black eye.
Yeah.
Apparently, he busted his eardrum.
Yeah, I did hear about that. He busted his eardrum.
Yeah,
and gave
why
him a
was he
black eye.
there?
I don't know.
Like, why was he
I'm not
there?
Sure.
No idea.
It was like that meme. Did I send that to y'all? The 3 dragons.
No,
It's like
no.
the 2 mean face dragons. Then there's the goofy face one. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
like
I've seen the
like the Hydra. Yeah.
That's what it was. And then it was like The Rock and Cena, and then like the goofy face one was Travis.